And for Harvard, Logan Shepard, one of the few standouts in a straight set loss to Grand Canyon last night.
Yeah, exactly. 6 kills for Logan Shepard, part of the team lead for this Crimson team. We saw them come in after that big game against Sacred Heart.
Early set for Bianchi, and he pays off right away with a quick side out for the Gauchos. One thing to note for Harvard, they are without their starting setter James Barden again today, so it is the freshman Adrian Shevchuk out of Pennsylvania who takes over setting duties for the Crimson. Float serve into the net, and that is part of the issue that UC Santa Barbara had yesterday. Their head coach Rick McLaughlin said after the game that part of the reason they fell behind 2-0 was the inconsistency at the service line.
Yeah, exactly. And both Damon and UC Santa Barbara over 20 service errors in that matchup yesterday.
Broken play, Shevchuk with the back set, roll shot from Cade McGovern. Here is Bianchi firing it off the block. Check that, Owen Berg delivering the tool off the block, and the quick response from the Gauchos. Harvard to the left of your screen wearing the black jerseys tonight. UCSB in the white to the right side of your screen. New libero from yesterday too for the Gauchos. First year freshman Joe Wallace steps in after a good performance by Jaden Glenn yesterday. Shevchuk to the middle, and that is Owen Wolbert slamming it through the block. First year has been off to a solid start in his debut with the Crimson.
I thought Harvard did a great job getting him involved in that first set yesterday against GCU. Trying to build his confidence for a young player who's seeing a lot of extended time.
McGovern had one of 2 aces for Harvard yesterday. Diving dig out of the back by Zach Birdie. There's a roll shot, that one picked up into the net, dug out eventually. Played short, McGovern there, Shevchuk with a long set over. Shepard's hook shot blocked. Bianchi climbing the ladder to turn that one away. That was a tough set for Shevchuk to make.
Yeah, I think it starts with Owen Lonkar, who plays it off the net. Instead of playing it quickly off the net, he waits for it to bounce off and then able to set it up a little more cleanly. And as you mentioned, the finish there by Bianchi.
Lonkar breaking into the lineup today. Did not play yesterday against Damon. Only 5 sets on the year. Wolbert out of the middle, blocked. Recovered by the Harvard libero. Shevchuk over on 2, dug by the opposite setter, and then a block for the Crimson. Wolbert and Shepard combining to turn away Bianchi there.
Yeah, good size there by Shepard at 6'4" and Wolberg at 6'6". Not a lot of room to get by. Keeps those arms extended and sends it right back against the Gauchos.
It is Greg Baglio, the redshirt sophomore, running the offense for the second straight day for UCSB. Serve from Shepard sails long. Gauchos in front early on 4-3. So already from yesterday to today, we can see just a boatload of changes for Rick McLaughlin's team.
Yeah, trying to get back into a lineup that he feels confident in at 3-7, knowing how important the Big West schedule is going to be, and try to get these wins together.
As Bianchi responds with a missed serve, so almost an entirely new group. New libero, new opposite side hitter with Bianchi working back in. Right now it's Berg and Lonkar, the other pins, with Josh Aruya in the middle. Tough serve there from Wolbert. Big shot out of the back row. That was a swing that was giving Harvard problems yesterday, and Berg picks up his second kill there.
Take another look here. Just great adjustment to get into the position that he wants to get this strike off. The setup comes from Baglio and puts it right back down.
There's Ben Court. Good pass, and Shevchuk calls his own number.
Something we didn't see from the freshman yesterday, where he's taking more of a controlled approach at the net, where he's deciding whether, not just passing it off, but now taking advantage of some openings there on the defense.
Shevchuk back to serve. Court with the reception. Set out for Berg off the double block. Diving effort poked up by Ethan Smith. Shepard sends it over. Wallace, Baglio, Berg again, the tip off the block, and Shevchuk slipped as he went to make the play. Bad break for the youngster there.
Yeah, his momentum taking him towards the net, but just the ricochet comes back a little further, so unable to plant his feet and get that shot back across. Good rotation so far here early on by UC Santa Barbara to get in the right position.
Arroyo with the serve, back set. Zach Birdie hammers that one down. First kill for Birdie, the sophomore out of Corona Del Mar, California. 6 kills, 3 digs for the Crimson yesterday.
Bounce back after 6 kills and hitting sub 100 against Sacred Heart. Really had a good bounce back performance. Also had 14 kills against CSUN earlier this year.
Good pass from Court. Baglio the back set. Bianchi with a big left-handed swing. Long set from Shevchuk, put it on the net. Baglio tried to pound it down. Back row again, and it is off the tip of the block and out of the reach of Birdie. That time it was Court out of the back row. It's clear the Gauchos saw the success Grand Canyon had with that back row swing yesterday, and they're pulling it out of the playbook today.
We were talking about the power that UC Santa Barbara has from the shots in the back row, whether it's Barnett or now we're seeing Bianchi.
Shepard does well on a low set, forcing it through the net and off the block. Nice work by the Arkansas native. Ethan Smith back to the line. Back and forth start to this one. Big serve. Wallace tries to set it up. Bianchi, nice adjustment and lands in. Birdie let it go, thinking it was gonna roll long, but Bianchi had it measured perfectly.
Just great spin on that shot as well to let it die down as it's heading towards that end line and still land in the court.
Already 3 kills early on for Berg, 2 for Bianchi. Shevchuk back set. McGovern looking for the angle, couldn't find it.
McGovern just trying to go tight angle and cross court. Just unable to get it to land down. Another good setup though by Shevchuk.
Gauchos trying to grow the lead now. Oh, it's an ace. Birdie was already down. He went down early, and that deflection off the tape cost him. No help from anybody else. It's an ace for Berg.
3 kills, 1 ace for Owen Berg, off to a rapid start here in the first set.
And that one just out. Looked very close. Berg actually got the start yesterday against Damon, but got pulled early in the first set in favor of Patrick Kane. So the redshirt sophomore trying to get himself going early today.
It was Kane and Barnett yesterday. Right now it's feeling like Berg and Bianchi.
Good serve from McGovern. Baglio has to chase. Bianchi over the triple block, dug by Birdie. McGovern over for Shepard. The block is there. That's Longcar in the middle, combining with Bianchi and Court getting over to shut the window on Shepard.
You see that triple block right there, just try to move along. Longcar was the longest one in the middle to get the arms up and get a piece of it.
Serve from Longcar. Shevchuk the back set. McGovern on the tip. Nice diving effort by Longcar on the dig. And the back row swing into the net this time from Berg.
Just looked like it mistimed the jump there. Got a little too high and didn't really get enough of it to go over the net.
Shepard back to serve. Spent most of last year as the Harvard libero. Here's Arroyo's first swing. Nice one-handed poke from Quinn Bishop, the libero. Birdie has to create the angle though. Baglio again to Arroyo, this time a miss hit. 6'9", he's the biggest player on the floor, but the freshman from Mission Viejo still working on rounding out his offensive game.
Yeah, we've seen him this year have some really good performances. 5 kills in that loss against Princeton. Really came alive against Stanford earlier this year. But once he gets going, it's hard to stop.
Court off the block. Shevchuk late reaction, but he got there. Bishop sets up Birdie, and he's blocked. Well, that's what Arroyo can do. Takes away a ton of room. And Court came over to close out the triple. Birdie just didn't have anything to swing at.
Yeah, I thought Court coming over really made it a lot tougher for that shot to go through, and Arroyo is just able to put up that left hand and get a majority of that block to send it back against the Crimson. The size today is definitely providing a factor for the Gauchos.
Bianchi with a tough serve. Shevchuk got the bump up. Wilbur pushes to the corner. Wallace with a nice recovery, and Arroyo with a blast. Bishop couldn't do much with it, just deflected it back into the net as Aruya thunders that one down for his first kill.
Yeah, we're seeing them go through the middles a lot more here in this first set to try to create some separation against the Crimson. Just good rotation, moving it from outside hitting to the middle hitting. It's proving to give Harvard some difficulties.
Gauchos with their largest lead. Bianchi, a dangerous server. Blasts that one out of bounds. That is the fourth missed serve so far for UCSB, only one on the Harvard side. Here's the first-year Wolbert back to serve. Bit of a up-and-down day yesterday. Didn't really get a ton of sets. 2 kills, 1 error, and then sat the third set against GCU, and that serve isn't close.
It's a GCU team that's playing some really great volleyball right now. Top 2 in the country. I mean, the way they've played this tournament here in Cambridge, it just shows you that that's, if you're a Harvard, a Damon, a UC Santa Barbara, that's the type of volleyball you want to be playing, especially going into conference play.
Yeah, they have looked clinical throughout the weekend, entered one of 3 undefeated teams, and they stay that way as they will head back to the West Coast, serve into the net. As Harvard trying to play catch up here in the first set. Shevchuk, 21 assists in his college debut yesterday, also had a few digs. Baglio back set, Bianchi off the block and out of bounds. Smith was there, but just couldn't turn it back to the floor.
Yeah, had an opportunity to try to set it right back up. We're going to see it here on the replay. This is what makes UC Santa Barbara so good, is when they're moving in rhythm, they'll tool it off the block. They'll find opportunities to make you make mistakes.
Shevchuk tried to get away with a one-hand set off a tough pass. Out for Berg. Nice dig up by Shepard. Birdie's swing is rejected, though. Again, too much time for the Gauchos block to get set up, and that's going to lead to a timeout. Largest deficit so far today for the Harvard Crimson. Forces a timeout from Brian Bays.
Well, back to that point, but it feels like there's way too much time for the block to get set up, and there's 3 of them coming, so it's not just a double block. You've got 6 arms up there.
But they have owned this matchup, 6-0 all time against the Crimson. The victory last year was in straight sets, but they have played some close ones in the past, 2017, 2019, which were a couple banner years for Harvard as McGovern gets blocked, and that's number 5 now for UCSB. Those matches both went to 5 sets before the Gauchos prevailed. As UC Santa Barbara pulling away now in the first. Aruya serve into the net. And as you noted, Lewis, errant serves were sort of halting their momentum. Yesterday they were better in the 3rd and 4th set against Damon, which is why they were able to force a 5th.
But this is what allows teams to stay in it. Harvard responds back with the service error of their own, but it's been that kind of theme for UC Santa Barbara this season, as they get some momentum points, they earn the nitty-gritty points, but then a service error kind of stops that momentum or halts that pace that they were going on. So you want to see them kind of fix that here throughout the game and not allow Harvard to stick around in this first set.
Jack Walmer comes on to serve now for the Gauchos. He's been their main setter so far this year, but so far this weekend it's been Baglio who's been running the offense. Walmer came in as a serving specialist yesterday, does so again today. Smith out of the middle, partially blocked. Chance here for Berg on the tip. Shevchuk, Bishop sets it over for Shepard, over the triple. Did he get a deflection? Yes, he did. That's one way to beat the triple, just hit the high hands.
And again, it was back-to-back times where Berg and Lonkar were there, this time just getting a piece of the fingertips to get the point for the Crimson, but more communication on the UC Santa Barbara side to make sure that they're protecting where the ball is going.
Smith with the serve into the net. Harvard unable to gain any momentum. And that will send Berg to the line. Part of the Big West All-Freshman team a year ago. Redshirted in 2022. That's a common theme among this UCSB team. Almost every single player has had an opportunity to take a redshirt year, and that's valuable experience. Shepard able to drill home another.
Yeah, we saw it on the opposite side with Kruger, right, and Damon in 6 years of eligibility. It allows these players, even when you have a team like UC Santa Barbara where you have a deeper roster for your freshmen to sit, try to learn the game a little bit more, and then eventually in their sophomore year, junior year, get involved.
Good serve by McGovern. Baglio keeps it on his side. Bishop gets a piece. Popped up. McGovern has to send it the length of the court and gets it over. Back row, tip. Poked up Shevchuk. Bishop for Shepard. He is rejected. Triple block city for UCSB.
Ben Court this time gets up, comes over a little bit late. You're going to see him fix his way into this triple block, and then right there able to get up and protect that cross-court shot.
Shepard tried to get around it, but Court was there to close the window. Serve into the net from Longcar. Harvard just hanging around, hoping somebody can get on a run at the service line. Shepard again has been the most effective hitter so far. He's been blocked a few times, but he's also the only Harvard player with more than one kill. Can't pick up that swing from Aruya. Might have changed direction off the block there. Aruya has his second kill.
Crimson as a team, minus 100 here in this first set. They've only gotten 6 kills on 20 attempts.
They've been blocked 7 times. Bianchi with the serve. Bishop just fought it off there. Shevchuk. Birdie gets through that time. Triple was set up again. And Birdie with a tough set coming directly from behind him. Still found a way through.
That's what the aggressive approach with the triple block allows you to find more space. And you're going to see Birdie just try to find it between the hands of Court.
Here's Wolbert with the serve. Set to the back row. Good run there by Berg. You can see the defense for the Crimson was thrown off as Aruya sort of provided a screen.
We talked about that presence, that length by Aruya at 6'9". Kind of takes the eyes away and opens up some space.
Court back to serve. A couple aces for him yesterday. He's probably the most efficient server for the Gauchos. Shevchuk, back row set. McGovern slams that one down. First kill for Cade McGovern. He's had a couple tough sets early on, but see if that gets the junior going.
He's one of those players that we thought as he came into his collegiate career, especially here as a junior, would get more opportunities. He has such a powerful shot. When he finds the opening, he finds the opening.
Aruya out of the middle, blocked. It comes back over to Birdie. Shevchuk, Birdie, off of Wallace and out. First time Harvard's really been able to string together back-to-back offensive points.
Yeah, great job by the sophomore here to get this opportunity for the Crimson on that far side, and just so much power. Double block was there, just got it past those arms.
Shevchuk with the serve. Wallace, clean pass, Baglio to the outside. Popped up by Shepard. Shevchuk, back row. Shepard with a quick swing right to Wallace. Bianchi out of the back row, off the block, and spun out of bounds. Again, just so much English on that ball, hard for the blocker to control it.
That's something we saw last night was UC Santa Barbara couldn't close out the sets. They had opportunities against Damon in the second set, and even in the fifth set when they came back to tie it. This is a chance here to take what they learned last night, put together 2 points to close out the Crimson in this opening set.
Dominic Lang, the redshirt junior, on the serving specialist for the Gauchos. One ace, one error yesterday. Good serve here to Birdie, gets the set. Picked up nicely by Court. Baglio recovers, back row Bianchi. Bishop will have to bring it back. High set, McGovern reaches and it lands in. No, they're gonna get McGovern in the net on the follow through.
Yeah, you can still see the net moving a little bit there as he goes into it following the strike. Taking a look on the replay, but McGovern again, just good elevation, the momentum taking that arm into the netting. So now a set point here for UC Santa Barbara.
Lang to serve it out. Bishop overpass, played by Berg, set for Bianchi, off the net, playable for Shevchuk. Birdie has to get it around the block. Lang fights it off. A lot of spin on that ball, still played. Longcar Baglio, long car, off the dunk, it's turned away by Smith. Bianchi again, through the block and down. Just Bianchi, UCSB's leading hitter.
Miss serves, right? It's part of the game. You're going to make aces. You're going to get missed serves. But if those serves kind of stop your runs, that's what hurts UC Santa Barbara. Not just in their Damon match yesterday, but in some of these matches this season, it's been those momentum stoppers. This time, the points didn't really hurt the momentum. They just kind of happened in that first set. So even when Harvard made their run, it didn't feel like the Gauchos bent in that run.
Greg Baglio, the setter, gets things underway here in the second for UCSB. Wolbert off the block. Shepard, the backup set for Birdie's, blocked but out of bounds. Triple block was there that time, but Birdie definitely took something off of that swing to get the tool.
Yeah, when you're trying to protect at the net, you kind of expect more of those shots to come with more force. This time, a little finesse. And maybe that's what Harvard has to go to here in the second set to even it up at a set apiece.
Adrian Shevchuk, the serve for the Crimson. Big swing, McGovern unable to control it. Berg picks up his 5th kill.
I thought low-key Owen Longcar had a good first set. 4 block assists, 7 total blocks for UC Santa Barbara. And getting involved at the net.
Berg readjusting before the serve here. Float serve, handled by Birdie. Quick set to the middle. Wolbert, nice dig. Wallace. Point extended for the moment. Shevchuk, spinning set. Birdie again had to take something off the swing though. Court rolls it over. Shevchuk, Bishop the backup set for McGovern. Did he get the hands? No, he didn't. Well, it was a high swing. You could see he was looking for a deflection, but just couldn't find anybody.
Yeah, Baglio's going to keep this play alive here for UC Santa Barbara to try to extend the point, and then it's finished off by Owen Berg.
Deep float serve. Birdie couldn't get all of it. Gets the set instead. There's the triple block again.
Really what's been working for UC Santa Barbara is having those 3 just move in sync there at the net and protecting it. It feels like Harvard can't get past it for the most part here in this matchup.
And did not see a lot of triple block setups from the Gauchos yesterday. That one a good deflection for Berg. Wolbert sets it up for Birdie, tips it off the triple. Wallace, Baglio, back row swing, and is swing and a miss from Berg.
Well, sometimes your momentum is just going to take you right through it. You got to get the timing up, but that time the swing was off.
Looks like he changed his mind midair. He was going to go power and then tried to go with a tip and ended up missing. Good serve from Birdie. Bianchi tries to fix it, ends up slamming it into the net. So quick little response here from Harvard to tie it at 3.
It's a good little run here on the serve from Zach Birdie to try to string together a couple of points. If you're Harvard, just keep that momentum going.
Instead, it is the 5th miss for the Crimson. 2nd one from Birdie. There's Longcar back to serve. Listed as an outside hitter, but playing in the middle today.
Coming off a freshman year where he didn't see any action, now playing in all the matches this year.
Shepard is rejected. That time it was Bianchi who pretty much got him one-on-one. Arroyo was in the area, but that was all just Bianchi on the block.
Especially they really missed his presence yesterday. He's so good at what he does, getting involved in the play, whether it's moving players around or putting an end to a point.
Off the net on the serve from Longcar. Shevchuk tries to save it, and then Wolbert kind of punched it away from everybody. Another block, this one coming from Arroyo. The Gauchos have clearly put a different emphasis on the blocking game today.
That's so important, such a big part of their game. And now just again, try to protect that net. When you have that size, it really benefits you. If you're Coach Rick McLaughlin, it's one of those things where you want people to attack the block, but because they're attacking the block, you're earning more points on the other side of it.
Wolbert back to serve for Harvard after the mini run for the Gauchos. If you're the Crimson, you got to figure out a way to make the offense maybe a little less predictable. As Wolbert wide right on the serve.
And they did it for a stretch there in the first set where they kind of mixed up who they were going to, whether it was McGovern or Birdie on the other side. Try to rotate exactly who's going to get the point. And as you said, it's a little more predictable here in the second set, so UC Santa Barbara is able to set up in the right position.
Here's Bianchi. That one's out. Bishop thought about it, and then at the last moment pulled the arms back. Good decision to let it go. There is McGovern. Jump serve handled well. Baglio sets up Bianchi. That one into the net. So again, Harvard stringing together a couple points, getting back within one. And it started with a good serve.
Just doesn't get off the legs as much as he wants there. It felt like maybe he wanted to go more cross court, but just didn't hit it the way he wanted to.
And an ace. No, out. Close call. Well, McGovern just a little bit long on the serve.
Yeah, it looked like it just missed the line. The official put the flag up as soon as it came by, but that one was close as it gets.
Here's Court with the serve. Clean pass. Shevchuk again calls his own number. Pass was maybe a little bit tight, and again, good option for Shevchuk to go over on two.
Yeah, had a phenomenal high school career. Was recognized as a USA Volleyball high-performance athlete. There's a lot of reason why Brian Bass is confident in the freshman and being in that position, taking over for James Barden.
Bianchi back row, fought off by Shepard. Birdie gets the set, the tip. Baglio goes back row. The block is there on top of the net. Joust one. McGovern can't save it in front of his own bench. Shevchuk had a tough second touch there as the joust was won by the Gauchos up front.
And you love the effort there by Cade McGovern, just trying to hustle on the right side, goes into his bench, trying to keep the play alive.
Tough serve off the net. Nice adjustment by Shevchuk. Birdie around the triple and in. Zach Birdie finds the angle there.
You can see it really, as soon as that point's over, point to his chest, say, my bad. He was out of position, opening up that alley there. So for the Gauchos, just got to get back onto that communication and protecting those open spots on the court.
Smith with the serve. Baglio outside. Big blast. Smith fought it off. Wallace, Baglio, back row, tip, and it lands in. Well spotted there by Court, and McGovern just could not react in time.
If there's an underrated player here on the weekend, it has to be Ben Court. He came alive yesterday trying to keep UC Santa Barbara in it and the match against Damon, and you see him now trying to create that separation here in the second set for the Gauchos, and just some smart plays.
Baglio back to serve for the Gauchos. That's the first kill today for Court. He had 12 yesterday, second on the team behind Barnett. Baglio's floater is in. That is the second ace for UCSB, and neither have been the big jump serve, which you might expect. They've been those float serves, and Harvard just letting them go.
Yeah, that one had nice spin to it to just land in on the line.
This one definitely in. Shevchuk, the quick set for Birdie. Nice play off the net, but too much mustard on it from Berg. Nobody able to get a third touch, and Birdie now up to half a dozen kills, matching his total from yesterday.
Yeah, we said it early on. He's one of those players that as a sophomore, you're going to try to get involved in the match. 9 kills, 9 digs against USC in their opening match, 14 against CSUN, so he could get hot.
Good serve from Shevchuk. Bianchi on the angle. Bishop, Shevchuk out for Birdie again. He goes down the line. That is his 6th kill. I had him one ahead of his actual pace. But back-to-back blasts from Zach Birdie.
Baglio read it right here for UC Santa Barbara. He's going to read the line, but just too much on it and couldn't get the arms out extended in time.
Shevchuk got underneath that one a little bit. We'll give it back to the Gauchos, who lead it 12-10 here in the second. They've been trying to pull away. Harvard has kept them within arm's reach for now. Here is Berg. Another floater, right to Birdie. Into the middle, Wolbert blocked, recovered by McGovern. Back for Birdie, off the block. Wallace fights it off. Baglio sets it up for Bianchi. Into the block, McGovern pulls it out, but then pulls it to the sideline. I think both he and Wolbert went after it there, and McGovern telling the middle, hey, let me handle those.
Yeah, it's just good communication there with the freshman or the first year, trying to make sure that they're on the same page going forward. That's one where you got to get up and have somebody there to protect you on the ricochet.
It's Bianchi's first kill of the set after he had 5 in the first. Shevchuk to McGovern, and he smacks that one through.
Such a powerful swing from McGovern. He finds a way to just get points for the Crimson whenever he's called upon.
Birdie back to the line. Hoping to get on a run here for Harvard. Big serve. Court with a good pass, though, into the middle. And Aloncar picking up his first kill, finding the corner.
It was off the fingertips, too, so it kind of a little soft touch there as he was coming down, gets the majority of the ball and finds it tucked into the corner.
Feels like the second set getting close to a tipping point here. Aloncar serve a good one. Long set. Shepard has to make the adjustment. Court will get a swing. That one out wide. Every time it feels like the Gauchos on the verge of pulling away, and then Harvard able to get a key side out. Again, the Crimson put together just a little mini run to try to get back on serve.
And they did it one time already here in the second set where it felt like the Gauchos were going to pull away. They were able to get a couple of points and keep it close. And the mistakes for UC Santa Barbara are allowing Harvard to stay in it here in the second set.
Back row swing into the net from Berg. You can see Wolbert's had a couple of tough misses. He took a lot off that serve just to make sure he was getting it in.
Yeah, and that's what you need to do is read what the defense is giving you, make the adjustments necessary, and take a little bit off of it on that serve. It gets you within one here. And we saw yesterday he played a really good match, just wasn't consistent enough.
Again goes down the line, Baglio, Bianchi, and the redirect could not be controlled by Birdie. So Bianchi gets the side out to keep the Gauchos ahead, 15-13.
You see it again here on the replay. Another good back set going right through off the hands of Ethan Smith.
Now Bianchi gets an opportunity to serve. And that's out wide.
It's now 11 service errors here through 2 sets for UC Santa Barbara.
Only 4 so far here in the second, though. Does not feel like, again, it's been prohibitive to them trying to build this lead. McGovern, good serve. Baglio has to chase. Free ball coming, perhaps. McGovern, Shevchuk, back row. It's a tip. Baglio, and a sliding effort by Court. Could not catch up to it. The back row tip from Birdie lands in, and Harvard has found a way to pull back even.
Birdie's having himself quite the game so far. 7 kills, hitting over 200 here in this contest, mixing it up for the Crimson.
4 of those 7 kills here in the second. He's becoming their go-to hitter. McGovern for the lead. Another good serve. Bianchi roll shot. McGovern flies in for it. Put on top. Off the block. Bishop. Shevchuk finds it. Who's going to take it? It's McGovern. Baglio to the outside. Oh, Court missed it. There really wasn't much of a block there, and then Court maybe expecting more resistance, just got too much behind the ball.
Yeah, and it looked like he was ready for it. Had a one-on-one battle there at the net. Just maybe got too aggressive on that shot and forced it long, but that's the very few times we've only saw a one-on-one battle there at the net.
Yeah, Shevchuk was still trying to recover his position after chasing down that second touch, and he was not really in position to get a block on Court. But he swung past it. Now an ace! That's the one McGovern was looking for.
After a couple of times missing, he gets it to finally land in. And that one with some authority, right? That one just came right down the line.
3 in a row for the Crimson leads to a timeout from UCSB. For the first time all weekend, Harvard has a lead late in the set.
Yeah, and
Yesterday, Antelopes had 15 more digs in the match. They were flying around defensively. McGovern looking for another big serve. Court able to control it pretty well. Bianchi is blocked, but Wallace saves it. Court again, through the block and down. Able to control the swing, and Smith may have landed awkwardly after deflecting that block out of play.
Yeah, like you said, just controlling that swing as his body was coming back down from the peak of his jump. Was still able to tool the block and get the point.
Big side out for the Gauchos out of the timeout. Now Court to the service line. Clean pass from Birdie to the middle. Smith got a little bit under that one. Poke from Berg. McGovern, Shevchuk, back row. Birdie with a tip right to Wallace. Into the middle. Arruya slams that one down.
You and I were talking about before the broadcast taking charges in basketball. This is a similar thing. Is you don't want to get in the way of a shot here from Josh Arruya. That one's just coming powerful and down in your face. Not much the Crimson can do.
Now they traded tips, and eventually Arruya got a good setup. Court serve off the net. Bishop a good pass. Back row swing, McGovern, and he tags Wallace. Cade McGovern letting it fly.
Put everything he had on the back of that shot. Poor Joe Wallace just getting the brunt of it there off the face, but McGovern has played with some attitude here in the second set.
Shepard, Baglio to the middle, Arruya again. Shepard with a dig. Shevchuk gets there for Birdie. The block is there again. That triple block has been massive for UCSB today.
And Harvard has done a great job here in the second set, going quicker so that they're not set up as they were in the first set. For the first time here in the second set, that they got set up and in the right position.
Arruya with the serve. Bishop and Shevchuk run into each other. Bodies piled up on the Harvard side. Long car, it's deflected off Smith and out of bounds. Well, you can see that was broken from the word go there as Arruya's serve proved to be tricky.
Yeah, and just taking advantage of the bodies kind of being chaotic there. Ethan Smith tried his best on the one-on-one battle.
Bishop, Shevchuk off balance on the set. Gauchos now able to build that lead back up to 2. Again, Viejo, one of 2 freshmen in this starting lineup today for UCSB. Another tough serve. Out of system set from Shepard for Birdie. The tip blocked. Shevchuk for McGovern. A lot of spin on that ball to Baglio. Berg through the block. Bishop is there. Shevchuk gets a clean set, and Smith hammers it down. First chance that Smith has really gotten on a set today. And that was the first clean set of the rally from Shevchuk.
Yeah, and this time it's the Harvard triple block that comes over and creates that opportunity to extend the play, and then Ethan Smith putting it away as the Gauchos were out of position.
Now Smith back to serve. Court gets under it. Baglio for Bianchi, and it's too tall. Shepard tried to bring it back, but off the deflection, it was out of his reach. 8 kills now for Bianchi to lead all hitters.
A little quiet, right? He's gotten a couple of those points here late in the second set, but for the most part, Harvard's done a good job forcing him to make mistakes or keeping him out of the play. So now Bianchi just trying to put the Gauchos on his shoulder to claim set number 2.
Jack Walmer in to try to help serve it out. Transfer from Hawaii, staying in conference in the Big West. Good serve. Shepard able to fight it off. Birdie's tip. Walmer. Wallace the bump set for Bianchi through the triple block. McGovern, I think he did get underneath it, but he didn't pop it up enough on the pancake to allow anybody to get a good second touch. And Brian Bays is going to use his final timeout here. Again, after Harvard let it to win those key momentum points.
Yeah, even the broken points that we talked about yesterday is taking advantage of those swings in momentum. And it was such a fun match to watch because it felt like it was going to go either way at any point in that match.
McGovern able to jam that one through the block. Prior to the Harvard timeout, it had been a 7-2 run for UCSB following their timeout when they were down 17-15. Now Shevchuk trying to serve Harvard back here. Off the net, Berg got enough of it, gets the set, and gets through the block. Right idea, Harvard trying to line up the triple, but Berg finds a seam.
I just love that play. You set it up off the touch, and then you get right back in it. Right here, you're going to see the feed, and then just waiting, gets to the high point, and then puts it down. Not anything Shevchuk can do about it.
Wolbert able to secure the side out quickly back for Harvard. Good timing play to the middle. And again, this is not an area where Harvard can afford to trade points.
Really impressed with Shevchuk. It felt like yesterday was kind of chaotic, running all over the court. Today, it's a more disciplined approach at the top of the net.
Baglio has to chase. Court goes to the tip. Shevchuk, Bishop. Tight set. Shepard fights it off. Wallace got underneath. Bianchi, tough approach, and it turns him into the block. Wolbert is there. A kill and a block from the first year. And that's going to force a timeout from the Gauchos. Second and final timeout here for UCSB. That's a massive block from the Ohio native.
Yeah, just great season. We talked about maybe a younger roster, but maybe a younger roster in class-wise, but a team that has a lot of experience playing as freshmen and sophomores.
He keeps the serve in, but it's a good pass from Court. And Bianchi hammers that one on the angle.
It's a good decoy there that opened up some space for Bianchi to get it cross court. Looked like it might have been fed to the opposite side or the middle, but instead it's Bianchi who jumps up and takes it.
Set point here from Longcar. Serve into the net. So Harvard able to save one. They got to get another here, though. And really the key to that whole side out for UCSB out of the timeout was an excellent pass from Court. Trevor Schultz is going to come in. This is an interesting call here. He had an ace yesterday. His float serve can be really difficult, but a lot of times it's feast or famine. So this is a roll of the dice from Brian Bays. And Schultz puts it into the net. So the gamble does not pay off for the Crimson. They come up just a little bit short. 25-23 in favor of the Gauchos in set number 2. And the 12th ranked team in the country leads Harvard 2-0.
They'll hold on to for the rest of their lives, and they can continue to build off of the success that some of these players and programs are laying the foundation for.
That's Luis Sanchez. I'm Ben Alcher here with you as we start off set number 3. Harvard a couple blocks. That one bounces off the net and out off Birdie. So a good bounce for the Gauchos, who pick up the opening point of the third. No changes for UCSB. And roll with the same group here as Arruya goes back to serve. That was Bianchi's 11th kill. He's the only one in double figures for either team. McGovern is rejected. Longcar, who's been a man on a mission up front, that's his 7th block.
Yeah, Longcar has been fun to watch here today, just seeing how he approaches the net, how he protects it. He doesn't give anything easy to the Crimson.
Shevchuk. Gonna be called for a carry, wow. A little shrug of the shoulders. He thought that was clean. Tried to wait as long as he could before going up and slamming it down, but sometimes if you have the ball and you turn with it, that can be a giveaway for the official.
Just gotta kind of go right through it,
yep.
Right? Get it across. And how about this run for Arruya? We saw him go on a 7-2 run to get UC Santa Barbara in it back in that second set when Harvard took the lead. Now off to a 3-0 start here to begin the third set.
We're trying to force Harvard to dig out of an early hole. It's been a much better serving day from the Gauchos. 11 errors, 2 aces, but They have still found a way to put together some runs at the line. Tip from Birdie's dug up nicely. Back row shot. Bianchi off the block and out. A really good recovery on some of these tip shots. UCSB very active defensively.
How about Bianchi, the day he's having after missing the match last night? 5 kills in the first, 5 kills in the second, now 2 more here in the third.
Back row set, McGovern's tip. Arruya lays out for it, and Longcar puts it away. How about the defense from Arruya?
You've got the 6'9" middle blocker getting down that low to protect it. Look at that. Oh, stretching out for it, and then sets up the kill. Beautifully done.
Off the net, it's an ace. 6-0 run to start the third for UCSB.
Sometimes when things are going your way, they go your way. And for Arruya, might not have all the kills here today, but has been impactful on some points.
It's another one who did not play yesterday against Damon. And a run snapped there by Ethan Smith with authority. But Crimson already have some work to do here in the third.
It's a good way to stop the run, get on serve, try to earn that momentum back on your side, get some more chances here off the serve from Ethan Smith.
It's a good one. Popped up by Wallace for Berg, a push shot to the back. Shevchuk out for Birdie, and he finds the angle. All started with a good serve from Smith, and Birdie delivers his 9th kill.
Birdie's another one who's really come on strong here in this match. We saw him again get 14 kills earlier this year. He can get into that double-digit kill number.
Bianchi flying in, got the deflection off the high hands. That right side again has paid big dividends for the Gauchos today. Whether it was Barnett yesterday, Bianchi today.
I mean, Barnett had just an impressive performance. First start of the season, and he comes out with 23 kills.
Baglio serve, Shevchuk tapped and in the open space. That's Trevor Schultz working into that spot in place of Wolbert again.
Just gets that triple block to bite to the right side and then finds the opening there. Berg didn't move with the block, so kind of opened up that space at the net.
Shevchuk with the serve. Baglio, the one-hand set, and Longcar right there for it.
Just the awareness there to know that you can't get both on it to cleanly set it, but just a little push to the closest receiver and nice little flick to get it over.
The old Statue of Liberty set. One hand on the torch. Berg back to the line for UCSB. Float serve, handled by Birdie. Quick set to the middle. Schultz's push is blocked, and Shevchuk couldn't pull it back.
If the Gauchos are going to have success in the Big West, that block is going to be a big part of it. When they move in sync, when they are communicating and getting those arms up in time, they are hard to break through. And even if you get that contact, it's coming right back at you.
They were outblocked by Damon 13-6 yesterday. They are now outblocking Harvard 12-2 today.
That one was the double block. That time it was just 2 Gauchos at the net. And again, just the strength from these shots. You see this good movement by Court and get some support from Longcar. When you're moving that in sync, it keeps your eyes on the defense, but also takes your eyes off the ball for a second if you're an offensive player. So it makes it a little difficult to make up your mind on where you want that ball to actually go.
Brian Bay is making a change. Andrew Lobo, the junior from Toronto, has come onto the floor.
Saw his first action of the season yesterday against GCU.
20? I mean, no days off, right?
That's right. That's life in the Big West. So finally got the lineup situation sorted out. Berg's serve is a good one. Shevchuk to the middle. Schultz off the block. Picked up by Baglio. Wallace will set it for Bianchi. He's blocked. Kept alive. Baglio steps in. Bianchi's tip. Fought off by Bishop. Shevchuk. Lobo's first swing. Dug up. Baglio for Bianchi. Snapped it off Bishop and out.
Good job just staying with the play there for the Gauchos. A couple of opportunities to get this over. Lobo had a good strike to get it back for the Crimson, but again, just attacking through the block there for Harvard.
Berg serve, fielded by Bishop this time. Schultz had to go low to get it over, and Bianchi ended up in the net there. Ended up on the ground as well as he tried to contort his way out of the twine.
He did. He tried to avoid it. He was spinning away from it, but still got a piece of the net, so gives the point back to the Crimson.
Big cushion here, though, for the Gauchos, up by 7 early on.
I thought Bianchi was going to break out in some breakdancing. We saw the Gritty last night, right?
That's right. They're even celebrating one of its blocks, Justin Jefferson style.
We talked about this throughout the weekend, but it's just so much fun to see how involved the benches are, how the players are, and good sportsmanship. Obviously, both teams understand it, they respect it, and they allow it.
And trying to keep the energy level up on both sides. Here's Birdie with the serve. Wallace's pass. Court into the net, or into the antenna.
That one, he wanted all his momentum to take him forward, but this time he's going to hit it off the near side antenna. Right there, you see it just ricochet off, and Cade McGovern has been #1 in trying to plead the case of the Crimson on these points.
Birdie follows up with a serve out of bounds. We'll send Longcar back to the line. He has been a huge factor in the blocking game with 7 blocks tonight. He's also got 4 kills up front. Well-defended ball that just lands out. Berg couldn't quite keep it on his side. He got a lot under it, but it went over and out of play.
Berg's now up to 6 kills. We talked about his double-digit kills against UCLA and Princeton. It's another player that can do it all on the floor.
Aruya, a mishit. That one went out. Smith wisely pulling his hands out of the way in time.
It felt like the way this third set started, it was going to be UC Santa Barbara pulling away by a lot, but Harvard has hung around and putting together a couple of runs here, even in between lost points, that has kept them in this match.
Aruya again, blocked but out of bounds. Just wide of the line there as Smith read it, but again, couldn't redirect it back into the floor.
Yeah, it's one there where you want to just move your hands a little bit more so that you get that angle to push it forward instead of to the side. But Aruya has been a big part of creating the separation here in the third set, whether it was on the service line and now up front as the blocker.
5th kill for Aruya as the serve goes long.
It's the first service error we've seen for UC Santa Barbara since about midway through that second set. So we talked about them cleaning it up at the service line. It's the first one we've seen in a while.
And Sam Collins coming in. Now it's Lobo's turn. Hand pass, a good one there. Back row, Berg. His first kill in a while.
And good adjustment there. It felt like he was getting it towards the drop in his jump. Was still able to get enough on it with some spin to get the point.
Ben Court back to the line. Pass from Logan Shepard. Shevchuk the back row set, and Lobo flying in has his first kill of the season.
You can see that one just caught UC Santa Barbara by surprise as Lobo just flies across to get the kill. But the Gauchos might have thought that was going the opposite way.
Logan Shepard with the serve. Into the net. That's the 11th miss now for the Crimson. Here comes Aruya. He's been arguably the best server tonight for the Gauchos. Keyed that 6-0 run to start the set. And that's still the difference, as that one ends up going long, so Harvard spared from another run from him.
We've seen Ethan
Crimson
Smith
still have to try to chip away here.
Sorry, but yeah, we've seen Ethan Smith also create some good momentum here for the Crimson, just down 5 here in the third.
Court with a clean pass, set out for Berg. The tip kept alive. Shevchuk for Birdie, jams it off the block and down. Zach Birdie, the first Harvard hitter in double figures with his 10th kill. And that all started with a nice defensive play from Shepard.
Yeah, Shepard gets down low to protect that one on the dig, and then the setup goes to Birdie, who finishes it off. But now those momentum points for the Crimson are being halted at the service line.
3 straight missed serves for the Crimson. Baglio back to the line now for the Gauchos. Floater right to Birdie. Shevchuk to Schultz. He fumbled it over the net, and then Wallace couldn't recover the second touch. Good adjustment by Schultz. Not an easy set, but he contorted that arm down to make sure it got over.
Got some help from the tape there as well. Just rolled the tape for a little bit, rolled across, and nothing Wallace could do. Just a smart play on the readjustment.
3rd kill for the Florida natives since coming in, and another missed serve for Harvard. That's 4 straight times the Gauchos have sided out on a missed serve.
Just incredible. We've been talking about this, it feels like all weekend, right? It's like these are the types of plays that you want to, or the types of mistakes that you want to limit when you're on these types of runs. Any team.
Berg's floater, passed by Birdie, gets the set and puts it away. Baglio had it in the breadbasket, just couldn't pop it up.
Take another look at this play. Just moving around, you see the defense for the block, get across, but nothing, not there in time. So good attack.
Birdie to the line, serves a good one. Set for Collins, off the block and out of reach. First kill today for Collins, filling in for Bianchi here late.
Also another player that didn't see a lot of time in last year's matches, but coming in as a serving specialist, this time getting involved in the action.
Bankar serve off the net, Bishop adjusts, and Shepard slams that one home. Fifth kill for Shepard to go along with 6 digs. There's Schultz. That one just into the net.
A little more elevation. It felt like that one was probably going to go over, hit the tape, and maybe take one of those funky bounces.
Some missed opportunities there by Harvard to try to cut it to 3, cut it to 2, but the service errors plaguing the Crimson here. The Gauchos continue to enjoy this cushion that they established early on. Lobo dug up Wallace. Aruya sends it over right to Lobo, but then Aruya blocks him. Shevchuk and Shepard, did he get a deflection? No, just missed it long.
I thought Aruya did a great job there, realizing that he had to get it over, but get right back into position. You see him right there protecting the middle, and then just across to make sure to leave the arms at bay and make sure not to touch it. Sometimes you see players just kind of give up on the play, take their time when they're getting up from the floor. Aruya just pop right back up.
Shevchuk, Shepard right back to him. Wallace with the dig. Aruya in the middle, slams it into the net. Just tried to turn it a little too much at the end.
I felt like the set wasn't high enough either for him to do much with it.
And can Harvard find a way to get a run at the line? Lobo. Baglio has to recover for Court. Triple block there. Deflection to Lobo. Back row swing. It is out of bounds. Decent look there for Birdie, and he tried to pick the line, but cut it wide.
So disciplined from that triple block there. You have 3 players who could potentially get a fingertip, an arm, a hand on it. But instead, they realize it's coming more up top the block, and they pull their arms down.
Gauchos 4 points away from a sweep to wrap up their East Coast trip. Court serve. Shepard, Shevchuk. Smith is blocked. Shevchuk saves. Bishop whacks it over. Baglio to the back row, and that one taken down by Court. Only his 3rd kill. But it nudges the Gauchos 1 point closer.
Another great job by Court. 3 double-digit kill games coming into this one. He's another player that once he gets involved in the offense, it really allows for more players to open up their shot.
Shevchuk to the middle. This time it's taken care of. That's Ethan McCrary, the senior, getting into the lineup late here. Going back to last year, was recovering from an injury. Didn't really see the court, but he's been in this program for a long time. He took the COVID year off, so essentially a fifth-year senior. So the serve out wide from Shepard. So good to see McCrary, who saw regular time. He and Smith broke into the lineup together as the middles as first years. Smith has obviously been a mainstay, but McCrary obviously had that injury hiccup.
Yeah, and now able to find an opportunity to return to the floor. You know, last year he wanted to stay out there for a majority of those matches, but only able to play in 2. Well, part of that youth that came in during that COVID pandemic and still trying to get the benefit of playing.
Walmer's serve into the net. And McCrary will get a chance to serve here.
How about that stash though, huh?
Styling and profiling.
There you go.
Short rolling serve. And Berg got a great set there from Baglio.
Yeah, able to get up to a high point there on the jump. We'll see it on the replay here. Great setup, and then Berg's gonna right there get to the top of that hit.
Set point, match point for UCSB. Baglio. Birdie, Shevchuk, back row, it's Lobo. Comes right back over, was redirected. Birdie, able to jam it through the block. Harvard was looking for a call. Maybe a back row attack, but in the end, they're able to save 1 match point.
Like UC Santa Barbara got a little chaotic there on trying to set up. He could not get right back into position, so it allows Harvard to take advantage.
Shevchuk gonna have to go on a big run here, and the serve is long. So in the end, the serving issues plague Harvard and cannot recover from the 6-0 run from the Gauchos to start that 3rd set. And UCSB takes it in straight sets for the 2nd year in a row over Harvard, 25-18. Gauchos will salvage a win to close out the East Coast road trip 1-0.